So returning soon. On April 4, Akshay Kumar announced on social media that he had contracted COVID-19. A day later, 45 crew members of the upcoming film Ram Setu also tested positive in Mumbai. It is not the start the producers were looking for after the Muhurat and Ram Janmabhoomi in Ayodhya. Ram Setu is among the many films hit by the surge of COVID cases in metropolis. Shoots of Bhool Bhulaiya 2, Mr. Lele and Gangubhai Kathiwada were also halted after the respective leading actors tested positive for COVID. The livelihoods of hundreds of daily wage laborers and technicians deployed on sets will once again be affected. When an actor falls sick, the whole film shuts down, says B.N. Tiwari, president of the Federation of Western India Cine Employees. But if a laborer falls sick, a quick replacement is found. Tiwari has been a busy man lately, from censuring actress Gauhar Khan for breaking her COVID quarantine rules to warning production houses against mismanaging labor. Stingy producers are misusing the standard operating procedure. There are sets where one man has been hired to do the work of two under the pretext that it is for the safety of the unit. He says Tiwari anticipates a fraught next few months for the FWIC's 5 lakh members. Month when there was a lockdown, we were able to accumulate financial aid from some producers and actors, says Tiwari. But now, just 6 months later, who will help? So, alone and forgotten. For independent cinema owners like Akshay Rathi, who runs six single-screen cinemas in Maharashtra and a few in Chhattisgarh, the situation is dire. We also need to look at livelihoods earned through this sector besides protecting lives. The theatrical sector, he says, is urgent need of relief in the form of property tax waivers, respite from minimum demand charges on electricity, and automatic renewal of licenses. The Rathi estimates that 300 to 400 cinemas have shut down in the months since the nationwide lockdown in March 2020. The center allowed theaters to reopen on October 15 and could operate at 100% occupancy starting February 1. But the Maharashtra government stuck to 50% occupancy. The state is a key market for producers, accounting for 20% of Hindi films' domestic box office collection. The curbs in Maharashtra will also have a knock-on effect of theatrical business in other states like Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, West Bengal, Tripura, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So, now, no big producers will let go Maharashtra revenue, says Reddy. So, even if the rest of India is open, they won't release the film until Maharashtra is completely open. Virtual recourse. Producers and studios have already begun pushing the release dates of upcoming films. Anand Pandit's whose Chehre was scheduled to release on April 9 was among the first. No government imposes a lockdown for fun. It is a 360-degree picture of the situation while we look only at our own interest, he says. Pandit, who now acknowledges that producers who had thus far resisted releasing their films on streaming platforms may now do so. If they are burdened with debt and interest is mounting, they will be tempted to go for it. He says, I want to give people a theatrical experience, but there is a limit to waiting. Pandit hasn't announced a revised release date for Chehra yet. Producers are worried that the films will become dated, says Vinod Hansali, President Marketing, Media and Publishing T-Series. The company holds into tentpole titles like Satyamev Jayate 2 for theaters. It has also stated making films specifically for OTT. Demand for OTT films will be there even after theaters resume, he says, but a 300 crore figure is impossible to hit in digital. So, there will always be producers willing to wait for theatrical release. However, there remains for fear that another lockdown will further delay cinema goers' return to theaters. It has affected the morale of the producer, says Vanusali, calling this one of the most painful phases of his career spanning 26 years. We make films so that people come to theaters to see the effort, passion, time and money invested. That habit of going to the cinema has come to an abrupt halt. Until Maharashtra is back in action, Hindi films will be in intermission mode. Thank you.